All right, we live.
I bet. I share my screen.
All right, I'm gonna pull it up.
I heard that from the camp though.
Sure.
Yeah. So I can just disperse the spirit everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
Not just on me anymore. It's not just on us anymore. It's on the whole team. Let the whole team build now, baby. Don't let them pull up with Galanaya.
Galanaya nasty with it.
Galanaya or the block out quickly. Make haste with it.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I've been meaning to tell you, but I keep forgetting to tell you. You know the little boxing gym I be going to, HAC?
Yes.
I seen that Galanaya and Yashar be up there. Small world.
That is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, praises.
Yeah. You know, Galanaya, this nigga can hit you from the other side of the room.
Yeah, you can.
Ain't
And
no-
the biggest strong.
Yeah.
Hold on real quick. I'm finna hold on 10 seconds.
Shalom, we got Hebrew daughter. Officer Taiwan, Shalom. Who else we got in there? So today, what we're gonna do? We're gonna go over some commandments, some laws, some statutes. We're reading it from a particular website, and sometimes they be a little off, and that's the reason why we go into it. You know. But give us a few moments. I heard I'm doing something.
2 more seconds.
All right. Nah, that's cool.
Alright. Let's get into it. You already opened up or no? Alright, Con. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to the Most High God Yahweh by Hashem Hamashiach Yahushua. We're going to be going over various laws and various topics like we kind of used to do. And how we did it was way of, the 613. I think that word is going into the laws, commandments of the Torah. These are taken with a grain of salt because they are given to us by the Jewish people, right? Not us personally, it's just online. Just look up 613 laws and you can find them. Reason why they're taken with a grain of salt. Let me give a first example. To pray to God. Exodus 23:25. Me, I'm going in here looking for thou shalt pray to God. Such and such, such and such. That's what I'm looking for. That's what it say. Me being a simple man. Exodus 23:25. Let's see what Exodus 23:25 say. Boom. Exodus 23:25. And ye shall serve the Lord your God, and he shall bless thy bread and thy water. I will take sickness away from the midst of thee. Right? I can wing this together and make stuff link. But Mahar, do you see it where it say pray to God?
No, not at all.
I don't either. It threw a precept on it. Deuteronomy 6:13. Let's see what Deuteronomy 6:13 say. Now, what am I saying? Am I saying this off to pray to God? Of course not. I'm just saying take these with a grain of salt. You can't just go in here and then write these down, then write the precept by it and think you're good. You have to go search out the matter and look for yourself. I need to start typing KJV after this. Deuteronomy 6:13, thou shalt fear the Lord thy God and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. Plainly nothing to do with prayer, right? But we're going to get into this. What kind of commandments we want to get into, bro? We got, let's see, we got God. I'm assuming those are the ones that pertain to God. We got Torah.
Signs and symbols.
Prayer and blessing, love and brotherhood and sisterhood. Poor, Gentiles, marriage, divorce and family. Forbidden sexual relations, times and seasons. Okay, I'm thinking those are talking about feast days. Dietary laws, business practices, employees, vows, oaths, sabbatical, and jubilee years. We figured out we got to go back to the basics, guys. I remember I asked a couple brethren, what does the Most High God's name mean? Right? I didn't even go here. I asked a couple brethren what does the Most High God's name mean. A couple brothers didn't know. Took me out of the spirit, right? Took me out of the spirit. Now, when you go into the Bible, you're not going to see where his name is, where it's just going to say Yahweh, right? Obviously, in English, it's going to translate to Jehovah. That's where you get the Jehovah Witness from. You go into the word or the name Yahweh, it translates to the existing one, or he is, right? I believe it's a scripture. I believe it's a scripture in Hebrews. It says when you come to the Most High God, you have to know that he is, right? Something to that effect, something of that nature. So we kind of just want to get back to the basics for a brief period of time before we dive back into Paul and all those other things.
One that's in my spirit is the poor and the needy one. I might just said the poor.
The poor. Okay. Let me zoom in on this. That good?
Yes, sir.
All right. These are the laws pertaining to the poor. It says not to afflict an orphan or a widow. Exodus 22:21. Exodus 22 and 21 says, thou shalt neither vex a stranger nor oppress him, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. Okay, here goes something. Here goes something. You shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. That goes with the, okay, a fatherless child will be considered an orphan, am I right?
A fatherless child can be considered an orphan.
Okay, cool.
But
So
it could just be, he don't got his dad. He has his mother, but he don't have his dad.
kind. So that precept would be Exodus 22 and 22.
Yeah, a lot of times they be like one off.
Mm-hmm.
But we already know this. Wasn't it because they read a different?
They use like a Jew translation or
The
something
Jew
like
translation. They consistently off of our book chapter verses a lot of times by one scripture. A lot of times.
that. Kind.
I'm gonna keep reading on this verse though. It's nasty. It says, "You shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child." They probably gonna go into it. So They're probably gonna go into it.
You talking about other laws?
Yeah, because we know we're still going over the poor section, so they probably gonna bring it up at some point.
Okay. It says the next law will be not to reap the entire field. Leviticus 19:9. And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not wholly reap the corners of thy field, neither shalt thou gather the gleanings of thy harvest. And thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of thy vineyard. Thou shalt leave them for the poor and stranger. I am the Lord your God. So this is a law that was given to us for a heritage, that we shouldn't reap and take up everything that's in the field. Why? Just in case a homeless man or somebody that's poor can come across and they can be filled with your vineyard, right? Which is just hard. That's hard to me. That's hard. This is a perfect law. The Most High God thought of everything. And you got brothers around here telling you that the laws are done away with. When that's a good law. Mahar, does that law benefit people? Does that benefit our nation?
Indeed,
If
100%.
it's like you go ahead.
I was just gonna say 100%.
Done. Hey, Shaul Yisrael, we have the Sons of Jacob email or Gmail right down at the bottom, brother. Go ahead and send us an email. Yeah, that's a good law. That's a law that benefits the nation. Most brothers nowadays in America probably can't keep that law because we don't have vineyards or a field. But if I had a vineyard or a field, I would keep that law. It pertains to me, right? It says to leave the unreaped corner of the field or orchard for the poor. We already got that one, but they threw a precept to the first one, Leviticus 23 and 22. Let's check that one out. And this is why I have a sort of a problem dealing with the whole there's 613 laws, is because they do stuff like this. You know, they kind of combine, they make one law into two or three, and it's just like, I don't know. But Leviticus 23 and 22, and when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of thy field. When thou reapest, neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am the Lord your God. That benefits our people, right? And you're doing alms deeds at the same time. This one, to leave the unreaped corner of the field and orchard for the poor. We already got that one. Not to gather gleanings, the ears that have fallen to the ground while reaping. We already got that one. To leave the gleanings for the poor. We already got that one. These niggas made 4 laws out of this. Not to gather Oloth, the imperfect clusters of the vineyard. Leviticus 19 and 10. Leviticus 19 and 10. It says, and thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of the vineyard. Thou shalt leave them for the poor and for the stranger. I am the Lord your God. To leave Oloth, the imperfect, but you said what?
Oloth. What is that? The imperfect clusters. Okay, I get it. Tripping.
I mean, it's just, but the last one says not to gather the Oloth. Then this one says to leave the Oloth.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, bro, I think we would got that. I'm not gathering it. What am I doing with it? 24, 21. When thou gatherest the grapes of the vineyard, thou shalt not glean it afterward. It shall be for the strangers, for the fatherless, and for the widow. You know what glean means?
Glean is to go through there and get all of it, I think. Not sure though.
To act severely, deal with severely, make a fool of someone. Okay, so I can see why you would say that, and why it's used in this context. Thoroughly, wrought wonderfully, like to actually get through there in that kind of time.
And pick every cluster of grapes, every single grape It makes sense. You leave those on there. So if someone who is poor is starving, they can walk into your vineyard and they can eat some of those imperfect clusters or grapes that you did not pick, or fruit that might have fallen on the ground. Leave it there for them if they want to grab it. That's a perfect law, bro. It's a perfect law. That's a perfect law right there. It's actually another scripture in Deuteronomy that gives them a commandment. Let's see if I can grab it. Check this out. Check this out. Deuteronomy 23 and 24. It says, when thou comest into thy neighbor's vineyard, then thou mayest eat grapes thy fill at thine own pleasure, but thou shalt not put any in thy vessel when thou comest into the standing of the corn of thy neighbor. Then thou mayest pluck the ears with thy hand, but thou shalt not move a sickle unto thy neighbor's standing corn. So all of the commandments so far that we've seen, it's giving commandments to the possessor of the vineyard, to the man that owns the vineyard, and how he's supposed to deal with his vineyard so the less fortunate could still eat. But this commandment is on the flip side. So we have the commandments as the ones who are possessing the vineyard, and then it's actually a commandment for the people who are poor. And all it says is, you can go into this man's field and eat. You can eat grapes all you want, but you may never, ever, ever, ever have a container or a bag or a damn whatever, a wagon, and you plucking all his grapes and you taking the motherfuckers to go. You cannot do that.
He said a wagon.
That's a perfect law. You give Jake an inch, they take a mile. So the law actually it already ensures this. Like, look, they can come into your vineyard and they can eat grapes, till they finished, till they through, till they get their fill. But they may never take some for storage and for later and shit, pulling up with a horse and a chariot, packing some to go. You know how Jake is. Like, shit, I mean, it is what it is. And he can come in there and eat your corn. He can pluck a corn off the ear. You can do whatever. You can eat that. But you may never get a sickle and just start cutting broke corn down, and you start harvesting. You start going into harvest time.
This our field, brother.
Right? You in there like it's harvest time. No, you get you a piece of corn or two, and you eat it, and then you dip off.
You shake the spot.
Then you dip off. That's off.
You go.
That's like a man. Bro, imagine this. You give a brother a place to live in your house. A little. You let him in the guest room. You say, look, bro, you can sleep in here tonight. This bathroom over here you can use. I'm gonna prepare you a meal right now. And then in the morning you can make your way. 30 minutes later, you find him in the master bedroom, stretched out in your bed, feet up. You see this nigga was in your refrigerator. He got snacks, toes out, rubbing them together. Nah, bro, that's not how it's supposed to be. That's madness. That's completely madness. But that's some good laws. Yeah, I yield.
God, definitely some perfect laws that we're dealing with. All right. The next one is To not gather the parent grapes that have fallen to the ground, we read that law. To leave the parent, the single grapes of thy vineyard for the poor, we read that law. Not to return to take a forgotten sheaf. Did you just read that one?
What is that?
Deuteronomy 24:19 on my tweet.
I read Deuteronomy 23 and 24.
Okay. It says not to return to take a forgotten sheaf. This applies to all fruit trees. Let's see. Deuteronomy 24 and 19 and 20. 24:19. When thou cuttest down thine harvest in thy field, and hast forgotten a sheaf in the field, thou shalt not go again to fetch it. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow, that the Lord thy God may bless thee in all the work of thine hands. Never do that.
What is you should read that in a different translation for me.
Hold on real quick. Let me see what a sheep is. Ha! That's crazy. All right.
Let me read it. Read it.
No, I'm looking at what a sheep is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at what a sheep is. So like here, I'm
You got a portion of wheat. You
that's
left that?
You left that big bro. Appreciate it, dog. Wow. But I'm gonna go back to and finish it. Hold on. 24:19. NIV, it says, when you are harvesting in your field and you overlook a sheaf, do not go back to get it. Leave it for the foreigner, the fatherless, and the widow, so that the Lord your God may bless you in all the works of your hands.
Bro,
Good news translation. What's up?
we should keep reading on this because there's more on it, but maybe read in a different translation. But bro, this is definitely, when people talk about the law is bad and there's no mercy in the law, how do you explain this? This is mercy. This is love. We talking about things that I'm using to feed my family. We talking about my money.
Yeah, the livelihood.
This is your livelihood. I got you, bro.
This is what niggas ate. We need to eat meat all the damn time. This is what you eat. Grapes, wheat, barley, corn.
Yeah, your barley. This is what you making. You finna make bread with this. Go ahead though.
Trying definitely make bread with this. You said continue this and then reading the translation.
Yeah.
24:19. When thou cuttest down thine harvest in thy field, and hast forgotten the sheaf in the field, thou shalt not go again to fetch it. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow, that the Lord thy God may bless thee in all thy work of thine hands. When thou beatest thine olive tree, thou shalt not go over the boughs again. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow. I don't know what that be. Looking for that GMT thing. It says, when you have picked your olives once, do not go back and get those that are left. They are for the foreigners, orphans, and widows. So everything is perfect in the law. This is just crazy. I'm not gonna lie, because it's been a minute since I went over these laws.
We're on that.
You said what?
There's more on it.
There's more of it?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 21. When thou gatherest the grapes of thy vineyard, thou shalt not glean it afterward. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow. And thou shalt remember that thou was a bondman in Egypt. Therefore I command thee to do these things.
That's hot.
That's hot. Bro, all this is hot. The Lord will bless you if you do stuff like this, bro. That's what tweet me out.
Just look out for your people, bro. You good.
Bro, you just doing less work. All you did was leave it. You left it for them. That's hot.
And you know what the Most High God checks what is it called? A money hungry kind of guy with laws like this. If you're money hungry, The Most High God checks you with these laws. Because you could probably make money, not even probably, you could make money off of them things that you left behind. Leave that behind though. You know how many things the Most High doing with one commandment?
For real.
This is why we serve God, bro.
For real. Brothers greedy and but it's mine though. You know, you got a homeless man out there eating in the vineyard. He go out there with an evil intent to harm him. It's like, bro, you left it. The law said it's for me now. That kind of brother you got to take to the judge and the priest, man. Get him yanked up real quick. Nah, bro, the Lord said leave it.
What God said.
That's what God said. We have a problem.
I needed this, bro.
Yeah, for real.
Because obviously I don't have a vineyard. I don't have stalks of corn. I don't have grapes. I don't have olive. I don't got wheat. I don't got barley. But it point me in the right direction on how I should be helping my brothers. Like, if I got some left over, give it to my brother.
Yeah, you can still keep his law.
Yeah.
Without it being according to the letter. You know, without it being written as it is written, like directly according as in the vineyard wise, this still applies. I can actually grab a precept on that.
Yeah.
Let me see, I gotta find it real quick, so it won't take me long. Matthew 25. And all right, Matthew 25 and 31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as the shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. Do I believe this is talking about all nations? Literally, no. I think it's talking about our people that's gathered from all nations. Tobit 13 and 3 will tell you, preach the word unto all nations, for we are scattered unto all nations, right? Let me keep reading now. Verse 33, and he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on his left. Then the king shall say unto them in his right hand, come ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee an hungered, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. So we see that this is going into feeding the poor, helping the sick, helping the needy, visiting people in prison, so on and so forth. And of course, it goes back to the law, goes back to the same kind of laws that we're reading right now, right? And you'll be blessed for that. He said, come inherit the kingdom. As much as ye did it to the least of my brethren, because our people have a hard time dealing with the least of our brethren. We look at the poor and we kind of despise them. You know, our people, being the poorest nation probably here in damn the world, right? We despise the poor. That's why we buy these things like Versace, damn wicked ass Balenciaga. I think it's called MGM. We buy these things to appear rich, to show the status that we are not poor. That's how much we despise the poor. So this is why these laws were implemented. This is why Christ came and said what he said, right? Let's keep it moving. The next law would be To leave the forgotten sheaves for the poor, we just read that. Not to refrain from maintaining a poor man and giving him what he needs. Deuteronomy 15 and 7. Deuteronomy 15 and 7. If there be among you a poor man of one of thy brethren within any of thy gates in thy land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not harden thine heart, nor shut thine hand from thy poor brother, but thou shalt open thine hand wide unto him, and shalt surely lend him sufficient for his need in that which he wanted. That's hot.
That is hot.
That's hot. That's hot. We gotta, oh my God, I'm gonna read that again. If there be among you a poor man of one of thy brethren within any of thy gates, in thy land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not harden thy heart, nor shut thine hand from thy poor brother, but thou shalt open thy hand wide unto him, and shalt surely lend him sufficient for his need in that which he wanted, in that which he wanted. So you're supposed to lend liberally if you have it. If you have it, right? If you got it and you can give it, give it. You know, give your brother what he needs. That way he can get back on his feet, or that way you can help him out. Anything. You don't know what it could be, right? He may be hungry. Brother may not ate in 3 days, and you can feed him. It can be anything, but this is a law. That's the crazy part. This is a law. If we're not keeping this, that means we are in sin, right?
I gotta shout somebody out.
Go ahead.
Shout out to Taz Yah, because he keeps this law with a great intensity and nice spirit, right? We talked about it earlier this week, I believe, or last week, maybe in the meditation station. And I just want to tell that brother he's doing a damn good job at obeying the Most High God when it comes to helping his brother in need. And he inspired his brothers to do the same and came up with nifty ideas on how we can get better at it. So to water.
All praises. The next law would be to give charity according to one's means. Deuteronomy 15 and 11. It says, for the poor shall never cease out of the land. Therefore I command thee, saying, thou shalt open thine hand wide unto thy brother, to thy poor, and to thy needy in thy land. So this is letting us know the poor is never going to cease. It's just how it is. You got this brother that's poor over here one day. Next week he may not be poor anymore. It's another brother there. He's poor. But you have to continually open your hand wide unto your brother, and to the poor, and to the needy. Now, there's some discernment with this, right? Of course, there's some discernment. If someone is poor, and let's say they have a problem with drugs, are we telling you to give them money? No. That's actually what you don't want to do, right? You help them out by maybe getting them food. If they want help and you know them, you have a good relationship with them, maybe take them in, help them get back on their feet, maybe put them in a motel, something, right? But you got to have discernment. You don't want to give a person who has a problem with drugs money. What else would be another discernment? If you see a poor person out there and you know that he's not poor, this law doesn't apply. He's not poor, right? You don't got to feel it in your spirit just because he's out there. You know very well this nigga ain't poor.
Another thing,
Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 15:7. If there be among you a poor man of one of thy brethren, that's a precise thing that we're dealing with.
Mhm.
So you don't got to get emotional if you see an Edomite out there or a Chinese man. You don't have to do that. This is talking about if you see a poor man who is one of thy brethren.
Yeah.
You know, and you can even ask the dude, you know, so what's your race, bro? You know, you can ask them. It's some people that I know who I consistently see. You know, it's nothing to build, you know, some rapport with certain people. Bro, so tell me about yourself. I mean, bro, you ain't got too much other better stuff to do. You might as well talk to me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking about helping. You know.
I want to know where this is going.
Hmm. But that was just the key point. This law is talking about your brethren. Is that all of them?
Yeah.
Okay. It's important that we get out of here on time today. It's 12. Man, what you thinking, Act?
Bro, if it's important to lead in, bro, we might as well wrap it up because I know how we can get.
I know how we can get to.
I know how we can get.
Yeah, I think we should wrap it up.
All right. Well, Lord willing, everybody tap in Wednesday going through the spirit. Just be on the lookout because we know a lot of times that YouTube doesn't notify people whenever we're going live. Reason why, we don't know. Well, we know, but we don't know. Detail, we don't know. Through the spirit, we know, right? So be on the lookout. Just be ready for that. Tune in. It's gonna be a good time. Everybody gonna be chilling. You can come up there, ask your question. You can ask every question. You can ask any question, but we will not be answering every question and any question, right? But we'll answer a lot of questions, through the spirit, kind of laid back. It's fun, edifying. We'll be going over different topics and stuff. But I'm gonna grab the precepts, the closing precepts. 1 Corinthians 15:58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. And doing alms deeds, helping your brothers out, helping your sisters out, that's labor. That's the work of the Lord. Don't think that that's not the work of the Lord. That's definitely the work of the Lord, right? We all got what is it? Our gifts and our talents in the truth. Some people are good at teaching, some people are good at wisdom, but that's not all that come with the truth, though. That's not that all come with it. Some people may have certain things they have made work hard enough in this world to where they can give liberally to people. Some people they have just enough to get some food and give it to certain people. You can still do the work of the Lord without teaching. This is Galatians 6:9. It says, and let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. It's on you, Lot.
Khan. This is Sirach, chapter 43 and verse 30. It says, when you glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as ye can, for even yet will he far exceed. And when you exalt him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary, for you can never go far enough. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're glorifying the Most High, you exalt in the Most High God, you praying to the Most High God, you're giving thanks to the Most High God, you want to do those things, but it's awkward because you're around certain people, that's a clear indicator that you're around the wrong kind of people. It's time to start removing brothers and sisters and adding righteous brothers and sisters to your inner circle so you can serve the Most High God and not feel any kind of way about it, because you want to exalt the Most High as much as you can. It's strong. Put forth all your strength, man. If you can't do that, it's time to switch it up, man, because we're trying to get on fire for the Most High God. That's what it's about. So, with that, I hope y'all have a good, beautiful rest of y'all Shabbat if y'all are celebrating it today. If not, just stay in the spirit, man. Build up your spirit. I know today usually everybody is studying, dealing with brothers, popping out to camps, spending time with their family. So enjoy that, man. We living in some of the best times of our lives, exciting times of our lives. We're in the last days, man. But with that, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah. So until next time, Shalom.
Shalom.